Welcome back everybody. We have got a cleaning video with a bit of a difference today. This is Alyssa's best friend's car, so Jaden's car. It was brought for him many moons ago, a good couple of years ago actually, to help encourage him to do driving lessons and sit his driving test. Now it was brought for him when he was 15, and it sat on the drive until now. He's currently 17 years old. It has got a few leaks, so water's managed to get in, and that means mould has grown. But he's now doing lessons. He has sat his test. He did fail first time, unfortunately, but never mind, Jaden. You'll get it second time, buddy. It means, though, that Alyssa and Jaden were very insistent that the car get cleaned, hopefully inspiring him to sit his driving test again and pass this time. When I first offered to clean this car, yes, I did know how bad it was, but my thinking was I was going to use the carpet cleaner, the Aquavac, to clean off the mould leftovers. So the frankincense oil is going to unalive the mould. That's what's in that spray bottle, frankincense oil and water. And the frankincense oil should unalive the mould, like I say. But unfortunately, that kind of leaves the staining from the mould. Now, the Aquavac with some sort of stain remover solution should be able to get the stains out of the upholstery and that sort of thing. What I didn't think was, we're in the middle of winter at the moment. If I go and use an Aquavac in this car, it's going to make the car very wet, and it's just going to cause the mould problem to regrow. So what I said I would do for them is clean the car like a preliminary clean, enough that, he's got the incentive there to go and sit his driving test again, and the car is going to be safe for him to use because the mould won't be releasing spores into the air. I did tell them to go and get very many dehumidifiers and put them in the car as well. And we also, after spraying the car, left it to kind of dry out as much as it was going to in this weather. I mean, it was already very damp inside anyway. So the little bit of water I added extra really didn't make much of a difference. Once the warmer weather hits, I will go back in with some sort of stain remover treatment and give the car a good shampoo inside. But for now, they were very insistent that they wanted the car cleaned, like I say, to hopefully encourage Jaden to move on and do his test again. So I got out, did my best with what I had. And yeah, like I say, when it warms up, I'll get out with the carpet shampoo and I'll give it a good shampoo out. I did tell him, once the car had dried out, to get out with the hoover and try and hoover up as many of that mould debris as he could. It was given a good scrub, and I've removed 99.9% of it with the water mixture and the frankincense that I've got. But like I say, some stains have still remained, and we will get them when the weather's drier and warmer with a bit of stain removal spray. I did like doing this car though. Oh, the doors were all plasticky material and metal, which meant it just wiped off so easy. And it also, the mould hadn't really grown on here. So I just sort of wiped everything down to make sure any spores that we did release had nowhere safe to settle and grow. Everything got a good wipe down with frankincense oil. So yeah, the car smells absolutely amazing. Now, I don't remember if you saw at the beginning just how bad the gear stick and steering wheel were, but don't worry, you're going to get a close-up of that later. Furry is the only word I can use to describe them. And you saw the front of the car earlier. It is literally coated in algae. Now, the brakes don't work on this car. Well, they do work in this car, and that's kind of the problem. The brakes are permanently fixed on. The car will not budge. We tried to move it, and it will not go anywhere. The battery is flat. So you can't use this car at all. Now, I know it's going to be taken away to get the repairs done and the MOT done on it and all that sort of thing. So we've got a bit of time to sort of get this car back shipshape and Bristol fashion, as they say. So this is going to be preliminary car clean 1. I mean, I did say I couldn't really see the point of doing it like this day, but at the end of the day, they wanted it done, and I knew I could do some of it, but that I wouldn't be able to do like a complete thorough job. But actually, I think we got quite a good job done. I think I should be quite proud of myself. The state of the car when I started and the state when we finished. I say we. They had great fun playing with the the pressure washer. Oh, they liked that. There was lots of moaning of cold fingers. It was a rather chilly day. I had the added advantage of marigolds and I could put my hands in some nice hot water. So that's what I did. Don't you just love trying to edit your videos with a border collie that goes mad at literally anything? His shadow, a sunspot, the day ending in Y, the fact that the neighbours have a visitor, or that somewhere in the world someone knocked on a front door. Not my house. Oh, no one knocked on our front door. But someone, somewhere in the world, gleaned to knock on a front door, and Woody heard it and lost his marbles. He's a lovely dog, but he drives me mad with that constant barking at every tiny thing. But you didn't come here to hear me moan about my dog. Well, I don't know, you might have done. Some of you may have done. And if you did, there you go. If you didn't, let's move on with the video. I don't really know what's left to say about this car, to be fair. I cleaned the mould. And actually, if you are going to be cleaning mould, be very, very careful. Now, if you are going to be in tight spaces cleaning mould, make sure you're wearing the proper breathing gear, because if this stuff gets in your lungs, it can be really quite bad. Now, I'm no medical doctor and I don't quite know what things you can get from inhaling mould, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to be beneficial spa treatments. So, yeah, do make sure you're wearing the correct sort of gear if you're going to be in a confined space. I don't know if it's the safe way to do it. I'm not recommending anybody clean the mould the way I did. Always wear your masks and that. But my logic of thinking was, if I spray it all down with this frankincense oil solution, not only is it going to be unalived, but it's also going to be wet, which means it's not going to be able to fly through the air in spore form. We also had all the doors open on the car that we could, and made sure to stand sort of well back and get good clear air between us and any mould spores that were flying before we went in and cleaned it off. Thankfully, none of us, and there were 3 of us there that day, have suffered any ill effects. So I think we did a pretty good job of, keeping ourselves safe. But in hindsight, I probably would have gone back with some sort of mask. And actually, halfway through this, Jaden did go and get me a mask because he was concerned. So I did end up wearing a mask about halfway through this clean. As you saw just a little while ago, that was the gear stick. Yeah, the fur on that was unbelievable, but it did come out really good. And as you could see from the after shots, there was very definitely some staining left from the mould where it's kind of eaten into that plastic and into some of the fabric. So yeah, guys, if you are noticing mould anywhere in your homes, your cars, get it sorted sooner rather than later, because this stuff eats in. It's not just the fluff you see on the outside of products. It's also a whole network of roots and whatnot inside your products, your appliances, wherever the mould is, So make sure you get sorted sooner rather than later. I was trying to bib the horn. I wanted to see what the little beep sounded like, but the battery is no longer with us and had no energy left for me to bib the horn, which I was really, really sad about. I wanted it to go beep. I like playing with the car horns. My car's got a really sweet little meep. It sounds so polite. It's excuse me. And I've been in other cars where you press the horn, it's oi, get out of the way. I didn't get to hear this one, so I don't know what noise the horn makes and what that would sound like as a person. That is a dehumidifier. A totally useless, it does not work dehumidifier. Mind you, it has got its work cut out for it. Like I say, the car's been on the driveway about 4 or 5 years now. It has leaked in that time, which means that dehumidifier is not just coping with day-to-day humidity in the car. it's coping with like monsoon season in the boot. And that's not really gone very well. I took the parcel shelf out of the car actually, and the parcel shelf, it was actually wet. You could feel the water on the parcel shelf. So this car is more than just a little bit damp, as you'll see in a minute by these boxes. Oh,
is it very wet?
that is soggy. Yeah, very, very soggy. I like I said, I suspect there's a seal like leaking on the boot, because this seemed to be where the majority of the mould and the moisture was. I mean, you can see there the carpet is sort of a whitish grey. It shouldn't be that sort of colour. I mean, it was almost like fairy hair in the back here, you know, like that angel hair pasta sort of thing. You get like really like cotton candy. That's what it was like. Or as we call it, candy floss. That's what it was like. Yeah, it was it was that bad. So yeah, it got a good scrub. It did get a good wipe down and a good scrub. And I would, like I say, we'll be going back in with the Aquavac when the weather's a bit warmer and just give it a nice, good, deep clean right into the bed of the fabric there. But I mean, it was scrubbed good enough. I don't know, for me, basically what I did was spray the frankincense oil on, then let it sit for a minute to deal with the mould. Then I would sort of scrub the soft furnishings and then rinse out in boiling water before like using different cloths. I think I went through about 8 cloths to clean this car, and like I'd rinse them out as I was using them. So I was doing that, but I don't feel like I've done it properly. I feel like I need to go back in with a good rinse. These visors, they need taking out and bleaching, or perhaps even replacing. I don't know how bleach products would work on these visors, but the mould it's eaten into whatever fabric or plastic is on that visor, and you can't get it off. It will not come out. But this is the pressure wash bit. This was so much fun to do. Literally just blasting the muck off this car. There was like little moss balls and algae and just general grit and grime. Oh, it was so much fun to clean all this off. I kind of wish I could have just opened the inside of the car and gone at it with the high pressure hose inside, because that would have got rid of some of the mould. Yeah, like I was saying before we switched to pressure washer, I do feel like if I'd been able to use the Aquavac and give it a good rinse, I'd have felt better. It was like washing up and not rinsing the soap bubbles off, which is odd because I do wash up and don't rinse the soap bubbles off. But I kind of really felt like I should have washed the soap bubbles off. I keep saying this over and over again, like me repeating myself is going to make you understand what I mean. I'm not sure if I'm explaining it properly. I'm sure once I get to reading comments from you guys, I'll be able to explain it a bit better as you ask questions about things. But yeah, I tried explaining as best I can, and I don't know if I'm making sense. To me, I'm making sense. But then to me, I always make sense. It's only when other people ask me questions I realise actually I've been talking nonsense for the last half an hour. So if you don't quite understand what I've been doing, or you don't get why I didn't do something a certain way, then please do ask in the comments. As long as everyone's nice and polite, I tend not to take offence. It's when you're not you're all being mean. That was a sweeping statement that I shouldn't have made. It's when people are being mean that I'm not a happy bunny. But if you're asking genuine questions, I don't mind. So yeah, if you're not sure why I did something a certain way, then please ask and I'll try and explain it again. Because like I say, I feel like I'm making sense. To you out there, I'm probably talking absolute nonsense. Now, I would have absolutely loved to take the car to a car wash to get the outside done, because I like going through a car wash. Plus, there's loads of soap used and it just gets it really extra special shiny. Look at the muck that comes off of it. But like I say, this car has been sat about 4 or 5 years now. It's not going anywhere at the minute. It is not roadworthy. It's not taxed. It's not MOT'd. So we just went at it with the pressure washer and got as much muck off as we could. We did realise that actually the algae and the moss wasn't really coming off that easy. So in the end, Jaden went and got some sponges and one of those car brushes. Like, you know, you attach it to the end of the hoses or something, I don't know. But it's for scrubbing the outside of the car. So Jaden went and got some of those and Jaden and Alyssa scrubbed, and then I came around with the pressure washer and just sort of rinsed everything off. And actually, it came up pretty good. I was really, really pleased with how this car turned out. Look at all the muck getting blasted off. I don't know how long it's going to be until Jaden passes his test. With the way things are in the UK, I don't know about the rest of the world at the moment, but certainly here where we are, it's really hard to get yourself another test booked. He is on like this app that lets you know when like people cancel their tests, so you could get a test sooner. But, you know, I don't know how long it's going to be. So, to be fair, we could be back here in the summer, you know, giving it another good clean. But, hey, that means another video for you guys. I always like to do a video for you guys. No matter what I clean, I'm always like, I should record that. It is about now, though, that I'm starting to run out of spoons, as they call it. My anxiety has been horrendous, and being outside, it's bad. I did end up downing tools for a little while and having to hide in Jaden's house, and I mean, it wasn't too bad. I got to play with his dog. He's got the most amazing little dog. It's called Otis, and he's the sweetest little barrel. I don't quite know what breed he is. He kind of looks like one of those English bulldogs. I think that's what I'm thinking of, British bulldogs. Either way, he's the cutest little fluff ball. So I did sort of down tools at one point, just before we got to the pressure washer bit, and hid inside for a little while. Like I say, being outside for too long really gives me the heebie-jeebies. And I just couldn't be outside too long. So this is after I've had myself a nice little break playing with the dog. I'm absolutely covered in bruises though. Like I say, Otis is a barrel of a dog, and he's got more energy than I know what to do with. For some reason though, my brain won't let me remember the dog's name's Otis. I call him Frank, which is the weirdest thing. Does anyone else have that? Like, you look at somebody or something and you think that's not your name. Your name should be something else. So I'm now calling Jaden's dog Frank. I do know his name, and obviously when I'm there, then I will call him by his name. But I don't think I'll ever be inside Jaden's house again, so I might never meet the puppy again. I guess I'm free to call him Frank all the rest of my life. I'm not sure if they thought I could actually blast the brakes free with the pressure washer. I did try for them, but I didn't think it was going to work, and it didn't. And this is the outside of the car. Clean as a whistle. Now, the inside is also clean as well. But by this point, somebody had already locked the doors, and I couldn't get into the car to show you inside. So you're going to have to take it as read that the inside is clean, because, she's locked. But we did a really good job, and I will see you all again in the next video for more cleaning. Bye for now.